people on the outside have a very weird idea of what ship life actually is. Some people make it sound like one big holiday. Some people make it sound like a prison. Some people think all crew members are broke, and some people think all crew members are rich. And the truth is, most of the time, reality is much more nuanced than that. Cruise ship life is one of those things that people love to have opinions on, even when they have never actually lived it themselves. And to be fair, I get it, because from the outside, it's a really strange setup. You live where you work, you travel constantly, your social life and your work overlap, and your whole routine is completely different to anything you would have if you lived on land. So in this video, I want to go through 10 different cruise ship misconceptions that need to go. Some of these are harmless, but some of them can actually be quite damaging. Especially if you're someone thinking of working on cruise ships and you're basing your expectations on the wrong thing. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is probably one of the biggest misconceptions that winds crew up, and it's that people see the ports, the travel, the sunsets, the photos, the crew nights out, and they think, wow, you are basically getting paid to be on holiday. Yes, there are amazing moments and beautiful destinations and experiences that you never would have had if you had stayed on land. But that does not mean that your onboard life feels like a holiday. You're still getting up for work, you're still doing long hours, you're tired, you're living in a small cabin. Like, these are still all factors. And the reason that this is all worth it is because of those special moments. So yes, cruise ship life can be absolutely amazing, but it is not a floating holiday. Equally, the second one and the second extreme is people think that crew members are slaves. And like, why the hell would you do that job? You're working every hour God sends, every single day. You're not a slave, believe it or not. If you're on a cruise ship, you've chose to be there. Yes, you work long hours, but you can work long hours wherever you work. The difference is when you're on land and you're working all week, yes, you have a weekend off, but you are going to spend maybe one of the days of that weekend cleaning the house and doing the food shop and getting all your chores done. You know, we all need like Sunday reset days, right? When you're on a cruise ship, okay, you don't have a weekend off. You might have a few hours off on a Wednesday, but you don't need to do a food shop because your food is prepared for you. You don't need to clean the house because most likely someone's doing that for you, which means that when you have your time off on a cruise ship, you're getting off in the Bahamas or you're getting off in Juneau, Alaska and exploring a new destination. I almost felt like I had more me time when I was on board a cruise ship than I did when I was at home, when on paper, I had significantly more me time, but the problem is when I have time off on land, all the life admin, all the chores come into it, which is fine. It's normal life. It's good. But on a cruise ship, you don't really have that. Your time is your time, which is so incredible. Number 2 is crew members are broke. This one is just way too broad to be true. Some crew members definitely do struggle financially and don't earn a lot of money with the job that they do on board a cruise ship. But there are some people who are absolutely loaded. There are jobs on board that are paying you $1,000 a month, but there are also jobs on board cruise ships that will pay you 20 grand a month. I know people who are earning 14, 16, 19, 20 grand a month. And a lot of crew are actually in a much better financial position than people on land because, as we've said before, there's no bills, there's no rent, there's no food shop. You're not paying for a car, you're not paying insurance. You haven't got any outgoings if you are working and living on a cruise ship. So all of the money you're earning, you are able to save. And depending on what country you're from, it's tax-free because you're not earning the money in said country. So if you're earning 15 grand a month, tax-free, and you've got no expenses, there's a great opportunity here to be, you know, financially free. I don't know a job that if you were earning 15 grand a month, you wouldn't be working hard. Do you know what I mean? So no, absolutely not true. Not all crew members on board cruise ships are broke. Some of them are actually richer than you. Some of them are richer than the passengers that cruise on board the cruise ships. And a lot of the time, those crew members are far better off financially than the people that are actually on the cruise. All cruise ship jobs are basically the same. This is not true at all. And people talk about working on cruise ships like it's one universal experience, and it's far from it. The life of a dancer is very different to the life of a waiter. The life of a housekeeper is very different to that of a youth staff member. The life of someone who works in the spa is very different to the life of someone who works in the shops on board. Different hours, different pressures, different pay structures, different privileges, different managers, different cabins, and overall a different quality of life. This is why when someone asks me, what is it like working on a cruise ship? My first thought is always, doing what? Because it makes a big difference to the answer. Number 4 is people who work on cruise ships are constantly partying. We've all heard the stories of crew bar. Some of us have seen the videos and the pictures. We all know what happens. What happens in crew bar stays in crew bar. But this really does depend on the ship. I mean, some ships are definitely party ships and there's a party going on in crew bar every night. And then other ships I've worked on have been really quiet and there's maybe a crew party every month. But no, not everyone is partying and having this wild social life. Some people are literally just going to work and going to bed. But the thing with cruise ships is generally, if you want to have a good time, there's a good time to be had. I'm not doing a very good job of busting this myth because it does depend on the ship and also it depends on you. When I joined cruise ships when I was 20 years old, I was at every crew party. I was there to have a good time. But yeah, when I was like 28 and I was on my last cruise ship, and I'd been doing it for 10 years, I was like, I don't want to go to crew bar. I don't want to go to another crew party. I have been there. I have got the t-shirt. I just want to put my slippers on, go to bed and get up early for work. Your priorities change. So it depends on the ship. It depends on how long you've been working on cruise ships, what season of life you are in. But yeah, not every crew member is partying all of the time. Working on cruise ships is easy if you like to travel. Basically, if you like traveling, then you're automatically going to enjoy working on cruise ships. And this isn't the truth because you can absolutely enjoy the travel aspect of working on a cruise ship and hate everything else about being on a cruise ship. Because cruise ship life is really not about the travel in the way that people think it is. Working on a cruise ship there's a lot of structure, there's a lot of rules. It's an intense lifestyle to live. You're not backpacking around Europe, choosing cute cafes to eat lunch at and taking your time. You're working inside a high pressure environment where yes, the scenery changes, but the demands don't change. So of course, if you like travel, it helps. I mean, that is one of the main reasons that people decide to work on cruise ships, because they want to see the world. But to enjoy working on a cruise ship, you also need other things. Like, you need to be adaptable. You need to be resilient. You need to be good with people. You need to have a relatively positive outlook on life, I think. You don't need to, but it helps. Can you handle stress? Can you live in small places? Can you function when you're tired? I think for me, cruise ships was a great way for me to travel because I do like structure. I thrive with a routine. I love a routine, love my routine. Backpacking around Europe wouldn't have done it for me. Like, it's lovely for a few weeks, but I personally I couldn't do like an extended backpacking trip around Europe. It would drive me nuts. The lack of routine, the lack of structure, I wouldn't be good. So for me, being on a cruise ship and still being able to have that routine and structure, but also have the variety of going to a new destination every day was like the perfect balance. And, hopefully it will be for you. But there's only one way to find out. Another misconception is if you don't like your roommate, you can just change. Unfortunately not. On the one hand, I really wish this was true, because how easy would it be if you could just be like, I don't like you, I'm leaving. But actually, when I look back on all of my good but also difficult roommate experiences, I'm so glad that they happened, because in every difficult experience, there's always a lesson to be learned, right? And through having roommates that I didn't necessarily gel with, I learned how to communicate, how to have difficult conversations, how to compromise. I don't think the quick fix is always the best thing. I think there's something really great about learning how to navigate those difficult situations. But anyway, a misconception. People do think that if you end up with someone that you don't like in your cabin, you can just change. And because of the limited capacity for crew cabins, the only way you can really change cabin is if someone within your department is finishing their contract, and instead of the new person joining who's replacing them going in their cabin, you go in their cabin and then the person who's coming to replace them goes in your place, if that makes sense. So it's all about timing, really. You also need to have a valid reason. You need management to agree to this. And then, of course, it's whether the ship can even accommodate it. So it's quite difficult to just get a new roommate. So if you have a roommate that you don't click with, then the best thing is to try and work through it with them. And I've made many videos on how to do that, so I'll link them down below. Managers only care about how good you are at the job. They definitely care about that, especially if you're in a sales role. Cash is king, as in if you're a good salesman and you make a lot of money, like you are definitely going to be in your manager's good graces. However, because personal life and professional life cross over a lot, managers care about a lot more than just your performance at work, even though sometimes that's how it feels. But you could be the best salesman ever. You could be the best person at your job. But if you don't get on with anyone in your team, or you're always causing drama or arguments, or you're just really difficult to work with, they're not going to have you back on that ship. You know, they might not get rid of you because you are good at your job, but they're definitely not going to request to have you back. Are you reliable? Can they trust you? Do you turn up on time? Do you make their life easier or harder? Do you gel with the team? Do you elevate the mood of the team? Or do you bring it down? Because on a ship, skill just is not enough. You need to kind of be the full package. And I've seen it so many times, like someone who's absolutely brilliant at their job, like so gifted at what they do, but they're a twat and you never see them again. Whereas if you have someone who is solid, reliable, they're pleasant to be around, they're good in the team dynamic, maybe they're not amazing at their job, but they're willing to learn and they're, you know, showing willingness to improve, they are going to go a lot further than the person who is just naturally talented but lacks every other important quality needed. The next misconception is you need loads of experience to be able to get a job on board a cruise ship. This one can definitely put people off applying when actually they might have a much better chance than they realise. Do some jobs require more experience than others? Yeah, obviously. But not every cruise ship job requires a massive, impressive background. A lot of cruise ship jobs are entry level or very close to it. What matters more is that you are presentable, you're professional, you're hardworking, you're good with people, and you're able and willing to cope with the lifestyle. And sometimes people talk themselves out of applying because they like, oh, well, I won't get the job. I haven't got enough experience in that area. I've only worked in restaurants before and I want to apply to guest services. Or I've only worked in accounting before, but I want to apply to the shop. But as long as you've got transferable skills, like you have a chance. And I've helped so many people get jobs on board cruise ships who didn't think they would get the job because they were like, I don't have relevant experience. I'm like, yeah, but you've got this and you've got this, which is applicable to this job. So there's always a way. And you do not have to have an extensive background in that department to get the job on board necessarily. Obviously, if you want to be a captain, you're going to need a bit of experience. But, you know, if you want to be a waiter, if you want to work for guest services, if you want to be working in the shops or the spa, there are ways to get you the job. And if you do want help with that, please send me an email at lucy@cruisingascrew.com or message me on Instagram. But those are 8 misconceptions people have about cruise ship life that need to go. I think the main point of running through all of those is just to get across that cruise ship is not simple. It's not one thing. It's not all awful. It's not all amazing. And it's definitely not the same for everyone. And that's exactly what people get wrong so often. But if you can think of any misconceptions that I have left out, please leave them in the comments. If you have any feedback for me, any topic you would like me to cover, anything you want to see, put it in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing. And if you have, mwah, you are the best. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you taking the time to do it. And yeah, as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.